Welcome back to my channel. I'm Lorena. If you don't know me, I'm a French girlie who reading everything in English. Today I'm gonna talk about all the books I want to read in 2025. So it's gonna be 25 books for 2025. I didn't do that last year. I don't have a 24 books for 2024, so I don't have a wrap up to do. So we're starting this year with 25 books. Three of this list books are on my physical TBR, so I'm gonna show you that first. First, we have Apprentice to the Villain, which is the second book of the Assistant to the Villain series. There is a third book released like in 2025, so I'm so curious to see how the story is going to evolve. So I'm very eager to read this one. So it's like a fantasy, but it's a very comical one. It's very funny, so much action in it. I really loved book one, so this is the second book. Then I also have a book 2 in a series. I started the Prison Healer series this year and I really want to start book 2, The Gilded Cage by Lynette Noni. And this book, I've been putting it off because some people said it was very slow paced, and I don't know. I wasn't quick reading the first one either because this is not my favorite genre. We'll see, but I really want to continue the series because I really loved the first book. The third book of this list is the first book of a series. I've had it on my TBR for like more than a year. Yeah, I'm scared of it. I don't know why. I mean, I know why. I know why. Because people said they didn't understand well the world and the things going on. I don't want to struggle. This is not my native language. So if people that are English speakers say that they didn't understand it well, that get me scared. This is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. It's a sci-fi book, which is also a genre that I never read. So I'm not sure. If I don't read this book in 2025, I just will unhold it. I don't need to keep it if I'm not going to read it. Then we have some new releases coming in 2025 that I'm so excited about. I think you already know which book I'm going to talk about. The first one is Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I have read Ready or Not by that author and I loved that book. It was a 5 stars read for me. So I just want to read other books she's gonna release. Then you have Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I've read Part of Your World and Yours Truly. I haven't read Just for the Summer yet. I'm gonna read that one too in 2025. Of course, we have Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I've liked multiple books she wrote. I loved Funny Story, which was last year new release of hers. So yeah, I really want to keep going, keep reading her books. I haven't read all of them at all, but I want to. That's a goal for me. And then we have a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, a new release, which is called Atmosphere. I have read only one book by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've just discovered her this year with One True Love that I loved. This was 6 stars read for me. I loved it and I really want to keep reading her books too. And the new release, I don't know, it speaks to me. The topic, I don't know, I'm so eager to read that one. And then we have Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Same, I've read The 7 Year Sleep, 5 stars. I've read The Dead Romantics. It was like 4 point something stars. And I haven't read A Novel Love Story yet, which was this year's new release. But I'm going to. So yeah. So that was the 5 new releases I'm so excited about in 2025. And then we have just random books that I haven't read yet. I have 3 thrillers that I really want to read this year. Those aren't new releases, but I've just been struggling to find the books in France, honestly. So I don't like to buy on internet like Amazon. And the last time I ordered a thriller on Amazon, it never came. I'm gonna just not do that, and I'm gonna try to find it in bookstores or on Vinted. I will see. First one is Hidden Pictures. I've heard of it like a lot this last few weeks. I feel like I'm just very intrigued by that story, and I feel like it's gonna be very creepy with all the drawings, like very dark kind of drawings of a kid. I think it's gonna be great. Then there is First Lie Wins and None of This Is True. Yeah, those are two very anticipated reads for me, very anticipated thrillers. I haven't found a 5 stars thrillers in a while, so I'm really eager to see what 2025 is gonna bring to me in terms of plot twists and thrillers. We'll see. Because I've read this book and really liked it, so many people said Out on a Limb was like similar kind of tropes and similar kind of like stories, so I really want to try Out on a Limb too. Then we have Things You Save in a Fire. I don't know, I just heard of it like recently and I so want to read that book. I don't really know why, but I want to. Another book I haven't been able to read this year is This Summer Will Be Different. I really wanted to. I never read this author before. So many mixed feelings, mixed reviews on her books. So I don't know. I just want to try, and this one seemed to be so good. I will most likely read it like next summer. I also want to try the how is it called? I mean, the first book is Indigo Ridge. I haven't read that book yet, and I really want to. I've heard so many good things about this series, and I feel like I could really like it because there's a little mystery in it, I think, a little investigation or something like that. And as you may know, I love thrillers and I love mystery books. So yeah, this one I think I'm gonna love. And as I said before, I also want to read Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is the third book of her Part of Your World series. I'm not sure that's how it's called, but yeah, I loved the first two books. It was 5 stars, 5 stars. I really hope this one is gonna be 5 stars too, but I mean, so many people loved that one too, so I think I'm gonna love it too. As I said earlier, I love Ashley Poston's books, and I haven't read a novel love story this year, which was, as I said, her new release. So I really want to read that one. I've heard mixed reviews, honestly, so maybe that's the reason why I haven't been reading it like as fast as I thought I would. I wasn't sure I wanted to read it, but I mean, I really want to read everything Ashley Poston has released. And The Night Romantics was also a mixed feelings, mixed reviews kind of book, and I liked it. So maybe it's gonna be the same for a novel love story. So I'm just gonna try it out. I want to read everything she wrote, so yeah. Ashley Poston's always writing so unusual kind of stories, and I really like it. So I'm just gonna read that one too. I've been wanting to try Sarah Adams' books too. I think it's very like comfort reads, like easy little romances to read, and I really want to try When in Rome. At first I thought it was in Italy, Rome, Italy, but it isn't. It's Kentucky. That's very funny to me, but the first time I wanted to read this one was When Going to Italy in Rome, and it wasn't matching the thing, so I changed my mind and never bought the book. But I really want to read this series with Practice Makes Perfect, and I think there's another one, a third one, which is going to be released 2025 too. So again, I'm late as always. Get used to it. I'm always late to the game. There's a book I've been wanting to read for months too. It's called Before I Let Go, and it's very popular now. I really, really want to read that one because this is about more mature characters. I think it's gonna be very different and very deep, and I'm so eager to discover that story. And I really want to just try to read that author. I don't know, I'm very curious about this story and that author's writing. I think there's a third book of that series coming in 2025 too. I have some catching up to do. Last romance that I want to read in 2025 is Mile High. I know, I haven't read the series yet, but I'm very, very curious about it. But the thing is, I heard Mile High was the least favorite of so many people, so that's not helping me to just go into the series. And I recently heard that it's quite spicy, and I didn't know that at all. So I don't know. I'm gonna try it out, but I think I will have to force myself maybe to read book two, because if I don't like book one, usually I just don't read the rest of the series. But people say that the series is great, but the first one isn't their favorite. So we'll see. I want to try to at least start the series in 2025. I am currently reading The Nightingale by Christian Hanna. I'm 136 pages in, and I really like it. I really like how she writes things. I've highlighted a few quotes already. So yeah, I think I'm gonna really like this book. I'm slower to read it because it's a different kind of writing, and it's written like very little, and it's a chunky book. So I'm taking my time reading it, but I really think I'm gonna want to read other books by the same author. At first, this wasn't the one I wanted to read. I wanted to read The Woman, but I couldn't find it in France because, or it was just a hardcover, and I don't like hardcovers, and maybe the paperback wasn't out yet. So I decided I would wait and read this one instead. So yeah, I really want to read The Woman in 2025. There's a book that intrigues me so much. I want to read that book so bad, and this is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I am so curious about this story, and I think like the concept is great. I don't know, I want to read that book so bad. It seems so good. So we'll see. I haven't bought it yet, but I may buy it like soon. I don't know, the story of a girl that everybody just forgets about because she's cursed in some way, and I don't know, and just someday someone just remembers her. Everything changes. I can't wait to read that one. I can't wait. There's another series I really want to try. I think I could like it, even if it's not my usual genre. I really think I could enjoy the books. It is the Carvel series, again, very late to the game, but I don't care. I'm just, sometimes I like to wait. I'm sometimes very scared when there's too much hype around a book because I have expectations and then I'm disappointed. So I'm late to the game because I'm waiting for the hype to just fade. I've been waiting to read Caraval, but I really want to in 2025. Then of course we have book two of Divine Rivals, which is called Ruthless Vows. I loved book one. It was so good. This was a world and characters I didn't want to leave. I'm so eager to read book two. And I think it's just a duology. I don't think there is any book three like coming or anything like that. You may or may not know, but I did read Fourth Wing a year ago, and I haven't read Iron Flame yet. Just because it's fantasy and this is not my usual genre. I'm more a romance and thriller girly, but I've been recently really loving some fantasy stories, and I loved Fourth Wing, don't get me wrong. I loved the last chapter was crazy. I loved it, but I don't know, I'm struggling to continue the series because Iron Flame is a chunky book, and also because, again, mixed reviews about it. But I have to, because I really want to read book 3. So yeah, Iron Flame, I have to read it. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked today's video. Tell me about your most anticipated reads for 2025. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.